Isn't it so cute? Hi, you guys. My name is Stella Kittrell, and I'm so excited to talk to you guys about planning for a baby. Give you guys an update from the video I posted 2 months ago crying, and y'all like, I don't know when it's gonna happen. God moves incredibly fast. I posted a PR unboxing the other day, and I got these wonderful gifts from this company I really believe in called Young Days. And we have been building our baby's wardrobe. No, I am not pregnant yet. Yes, I guess we're technically trying, which we'll get into today. So I'm very excited to just fill you guys in on what's happened in the last 2 months. And you're gonna be like, this all happened in 2 months. I'm gonna say yes, but it's nothing short of a miracle. I'm very excited to share with you guys. This is the first little outfit we got. We bought this one maybe like 6 months ago, and I'm really excited to finally be able to share the story on this one. I did not want to, be drama and dramatic and just post baby clothes and not mention why. We have them. Thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you for being the best internet aunties ever. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe, and let's get into the video. If you want to do your makeup with me and we chit chat, if you're just at home chilling, if you're at work bored, welcome. I know I recently made a video like 2 months ago just about like baby Kittrell, and you guys know we hadn't been trying at all. I was really emotional about it. There's so much that's happened in 2 months. I don't even remember what I was like crying about in that video. All I know is waiting on God's timing. That was the main gist of that video. I just know it wasn't time, blah, 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 blah. God moves so supernaturally, especially on this channel, because I feel like anytime I come to you guys and I'm just vulnerable about like what's going on, I almost feel like God does it so he can show like he's God, because he comes in, he swoops, and he changes the whole situation. That was December. We were still in our old house. We hadn't moved yet. January happened. We were in 21 days of prayer with our church, and God told me to start praying for our children, but not in the way of like praying for like covering or protection, but like praying for them to come to earth. And I was like, ah, because I was scared, because that's the first time I've heard that. Because before it was just like, if you guys watched my baby Kittrell video, I'll reference it a lot in this video, but if you haven't seen it, I'll link it down below. It's context to a lot of what we're talking about today. But a lot of stuff, God was just like, it's not yet, it's not time. I was so depressed. I was bummed. I was so bummed, and I just felt like I was so disappointed. So I made the video just because I've been holding on to it, and that's just not something I do, and I just felt called to share. After the church prophecy, that was when it was cemented to me that like God's hand's gonna be on this from start to finish. His hand's never not gonna be on it, and like I just gotta chill out. So that's what January was. It was me chilling out. After I made the video and posted it on YouTube, I literally calmed down. I was like, it's literally not in my hands. As much as it's helpful for us to watch other YouTubers talk about their life and get info, it's really helpful to watch your own video and like see your life from the other side, maybe like from y'all's perspective, and be like, maybe you should just calm down and stop trying to play God. And then obviously comments are helpful too. I have had the biggest turn of events in my PCOS. If you guys don't know a lot about PCOS, just really briefly, I have a lot of videos on PCOS if it interests you. And we're just told, oh, you can't have kids. And thank God for social media, because you're not supposed to do that. There's so many women who have had kids with PCOS, but that's like the general vibe is like, oh, it's gonna be so hard for you, which it could be, which it definitely could be. There's 4 different kinds of PCOS. If you have it, I highly encourage you to figure out what kind you have. But anyway, it's like this big thing for women, and they're like, oh, you can't have kids. And then you go on the internet or TikTok, and you see all these women with success stories. It's a really heavy burden, especially when you start to think about fertility. Last January, I had made a video on my YouTube channel just about how like 2024, I'm gonna take my PCOS so seriously. Like I am preparing for children. Like that's where I am right now. I don't know when me and my husband are going to be ready, but like this is the year where I get it under control. I did so good. I'm so proud of myself. I feel like it's the first time in my life I wasn't like a perfectionist about my diet. Like it felt like it was the first time where I found balance. But my period's been so consistent for months now, and it's just such a blessing because it feels like progress. And it took a year. It took 1 year of solid intention just to get to this place, and I'm so happy. That's just like the biggest part, because if you're not ovulating, you can't get pregnant, and that's point blank period. And that's a big problem with people with PCOS, and not just getting pregnant. It's like making sure the baby sticks. Like it's so much pressure, and through all this pressure, I just like have to remember what God said first, and that's been the faith stretch and test here. I obviously know it's very rare to get pregnant on your first try. I remember I was in the shower last month, and I'd asked God during our 21 days of prayer, I was like, can you just like heal everything going on here? And after I said that, I got my period during this 21 days of fasting, and then I got my ovulation, and I ovulated like a healthy, just so much progress. And I'm so proud of my body. I'm just so thankful to God. Last month was our first month of intention. We're like, we're not going to avoid pregnancy. We are going to just, if it happens, it happens. It didn't. I did get my period, but it was really bummy for like a split second. But I have to be so honest with you guys why I don't want to be pregnant right now. But I'm very big on my commitments. And my followers and we're going to Bali in July. And I'm like, okay, July's around the corner. It's just a really big trip planned. And I don't mind going pregnant, but I would rather be like 2-3 months pregnant. At the time, that would have been 7-8 months pregnant. In the last month, have been in this stretch of faith, like, God, like, I'm going to listen to you and start praying for our children to be here. But I was like, but God, like, reminding him what's going on in my life. Don't need to do that. But I was like, but God, we're going to Bali in July and that's cutting it kind of close. I don't want to go 7 months pregnant. My followers have put their money in, and after the 8th person signed up, you could no longer get a refund for your initial payment, like your down payment. And I don't know the circumstances. I don't know if I go to my host and I'm like, hey, I'm pregnant, I can't go, if they will refund. So I want to go. It's my 30th birthday this year. I'm really excited and I really want to go to Bali. I just want to have that trip, and I don't mind going pregnant, but I just don't want to be very pregnant, especially if you know my health history, if you've been on the channel. It's just not something I want to risk. If I looked at my 2024 calendar and I was looking at everything I have planned, no, I'm trying to go ride roller coasters this year. If you are not hip on my weight loss journey, I'll make a separate video. I just lost 14 pounds since like a little after Thanksgiving, so November 30th, and I just did it low and slow. Like, I just took my time with it. And because at the time I started, I didn't think we were, going to try to have kids. I was like, well, I need something to look forward to. And I was like, okay, well, I want to ride a roller coaster. I know we're going on a cruise for me and Dre's 30th birthdays this year. And I was like, okay, well, let's just go to Orlando afterward and we'll go, ride roller coasters. Like, that's a great deal. I love Orlando. I hate that I don't fit on all of their rides. It's super annoying. We made that a goal, but now I'm like, oh my gosh, what if I get pregnant? I can't do it. But as of right now, it's still the goal. I guess I just have a lot of goals. If I get pregnant, cool. If not, ride roller coasters. I'm someone who I like to get stuff done. And when stuff is not done when I think it should be done, I feel like it's never going to get done. I've been having this conversation with my husband lately that I'm very, very results driven. As a woman, like, results fuel me. Attempting does not. I do not feel like success comes from attempts, because attempts can be stopped. Results can't. Results happen. Results, no one can take that away from you. Trusting God in the progress and not just the results. Don't ruin your makeup. So I'm gonna tell you guys a story about our baby clothes. This is our first outfit. We got our child, whoever they are. And this kind of just set the precipice for us that this is happening. After I got that word at church, like I told you guys, I fell into a depression because I felt like God does see me, but then has me here. And it was very heavy. I've gone into it before, but I want to talk about me finding God in that pain and what that looked like. Also learning that a fruit of the Spirit is long suffering. So thanks God for that fruit. It is just as sweet as your peace, joy, love, and faithfulness. So one day I knew I was insufferable, like, with my depression. And obviously when you have depression, it's real. And if you've ever dealt with depression, you just know how bad it can feel, because you feel bad. You're not up to par with how you feel. You could be better, in a better headspace. And you do know it taxes the people around you. I was doing my best. Let's just say that. I was doing my best, but my best just felt like it's all I had and I had nothing else to give. This doesn't just impact me. I think my husband, I've gotten full permission to share his side too, but it doesn't just impact me. Like, my husband is a little more impacted by this with his friends. We've had a lot of people around us become pregnant in the last 6 months while we're dealing with all of this. It's been harder on him with the pregnancies around us than I have. I had like a split second moment feeling that with the people who around us were pregnant, but I'm fine. Like, if someone announces their pregnancy around me or a birth or whatever, I don't feel, sad. Like, why isn't it me? I don't feel inward. But that is a very valid feeling. And my husband is feeling that. He's like, when's it our turn? It's a little bit heavier on him. So just pray for him through that. If you're a praying person, I would really appreciate it, because it's hard. It's hard on him to see the babies around us right now. And it's a desire in his heart just as well. So I knew he was kind of feeling the weight of it too. So last year I was like, you know what, we're going on a trip. Like, can you drive me to Target? So he's of course amazing. And he's like, sure. He drives me to Target and we go through the baby section. And I was like, I feel like we should just pick out our child's first outfit. Like, I don't know if it's going to be their first outfit, right? But just something to be like tangible. Like, this is a tangible thing God has promised us. So whatever that timeline looks like, let's just bring it to life. We're like, this is it. Like, this is just hanging in our closet. You know, I don't even know if he's going to be born in a season or she's going to be born in a season they can wear this. But regardless, this is what's hanging first thing in our closet. Every day we can see this and just like remember God's promise in something physical. And it has been so cute and such a reminder through the hard days and through the light days that our feelings about this whole situation, our feelings about us having children, are not just dependent on what is happening right now, but God has a plan way bigger than He knows them right now. He knows their name, their successes, their dreams, their aspirations, their personalities. He knows them right now, and we don't. And it's just a reminder about the times God has spoken to us about this happening. So then, like I told you guys, January was the first month we weren't preventing. And this company reached out called Young Days. And I really liked their clothing and their brand mission as a company. They're like, hey, do you want some clothes? And I was like, interesting, because of just this progress of everything. I was like, that's so interesting. So my husband and I, we talked about it and we decided to start building our child's wardrobe. And I sent in my selections and this is what they sent over. This one's my favorite. Like, it's just such a vibe. It's so cute. I don't know. This is just like the cutest one. I like the little waffle material. It's exciting. I'm really, really excited now that we've just had our first period since trying. So with my doctor's caution, she really just wants us to have any treatment options available to us now. She's like, basically like, get them now and take them home. And if you need them, we'll talk about them. So where we are, I personally am ready to go to her and tell her we're ready to have kids. She's been asking for like 2 years now, like, well, are you trying or not? And it's been like, no. So I'm really excited to go to her and be like, yes, that's a thing that's happening now. Like I said, I'm really trying not to get pregnant. Well, I'm not trying not to get pregnant. Let me not lie. I would prefer not to be pregnant until after our Bali trip. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to her and have a conversation. Like I said before, I already had my pre-pregnancy panels all done in October of 2024. Everything came back normal. I just want to talk to her about it all. Like, okay, what does that conversation look like now that I'm coming to you and I'm like, I'm ready? I would feel much more comfortable like getting through my 30th birthday, getting through Dre's 30th birthday. So like this fall, actively, you know, if I don't naturally get pregnant, actively pursuing more fertility treatments. If it happens, like we're at the point now where we're like, this is a blessing. Thank you. I'm gonna be a lit mom and Dre's gonna be a lit dad. And we're gonna have really smart kids. And Dre started an Instagram now. This is day 3. He has almost 1,500 followers. I'm so proud of him. He's doing like YouTube, Instagram, TikTok of space education for kids. He's just such a natural at that. Like it's so cool to just watch people and their passions. And he definitely has passion. Watching his videos, obviously he's incredibly smart. I don't know nothing about science. I love astronomy, but I'm actually in astronomy in school right now, but I don't know much. And just listening to him, I'm like, oh my gosh, your brain is so big. Like it's awesome. And it's really hot. And it makes me really happy to know that like my kids are probably going to be smart, really smart. So excited to start trying to have kids. I guess I did technically last month. If you're the praying kind, I just really ask for prayers and just ask for continued health and covering through this process, mentally, emotionally, physically, and advice. Like we're all very open to it, and it's time. Like it's time. And it's like the pit in my heart doesn't want to say it's time, because if you don't admit it's time, then like you can't be disappointed. And that's like the part of faith that we're building right now. It's like saying, okay, God's entering me in this new season and I'm going to accept it and say thank you. And I'm just going to say thank you. And I'm going to walk into the next season. I'm not going to minimize myself for it. I'm not going to resist it. I'm not going to be small and hope just to like save my heart. It's like time to be like, everything I feel, all my fears, I'm putting them in you, and it's time. I appreciate you guys. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.